Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 71 of our Colorado Rockies rebuild here on Out of the Park Baseball 26. Turnover Carbon here. And last we left off, there was a monumentous occasion. We had guaranteed the divisional lead in September, coasted the rest of the way, and earned ourselves a bye in the playoff. And we promptly watched the LA Dodgers sweep the Cardinals 2 games to nothing. And so we will face an old divisional foe in this round. Elsewhere in the playoffs, Brewers beat the Giants 2 games to one. Orioles beat the Mariners 2-1, and then the White Sox swept the Las Vegas Athletics, who made the playoff in the American League despite losing the final series to us 1 game to 2. So congrats to them, but unfortunate to lose to the White Sox there. My plan of attack for this video is very simple. We're just going to go through the playoffs. However long or however short that is, it will all be in this video. Fortunately, we have made the playoffs, not counting this year, 3 times in this series. We have made the World Series every single time. We lost in the World Series in 2026 and then won the championship in both 2027 and 2028. If you're curious, it came pretty down to the wire, especially in the National League, where you can see the Braves missed out on the playoffs despite having a same record as the Phillies and the Dodgers. They drew the short straw. So no Braves, no Phillies. Instead, the Dodgers make it in. So the NL East can be united in that fact. Before we do get started, one quick housekeeping note. I do want to apologize. The end of last video had some frame drop issues, and for some reason, Twitch ended the broadcast. Like it didn't even try to reconnect it, just ended it. And so the last 6 or 7 minutes were just a separate stream, which is very odd. I uploaded the video to YouTube, but if you want to see those last 6, 7 minutes, they're on the Twitch channel as their own separate broadcast. I don't know why Twitch did that. I have the settings set to try to reconnect as opposed to start anew, but you know, what can you do? So, let's talk playoff roster. So currently, you can have 26 players on your playoff roster. An interesting note: Brady Murrieta is not eligible to be in the playoffs. I guess he did not have enough service time despite being on the 40 man, which makes no sense because Alfonso Serrano was on the 40 man the whole year, was on a whole different team, and yet is eligible for the playoff roster. But Brady Murrieta is not. So our backup catcher for the last little bit of the season will not be joining us in the playoffs. So Brady is going to be at home watching us hopefully lift the trophy. So to that end, despite the fact that I waived and DFA'd Miguel Palma, he is now back on the 40 man and back on the playoff roster. Yeah, he was worth negative WAR in 6 games in AAA, which is kind of rough. So he will be our backup catcher. Ideally, he's never gonna play. Obviously, with the schedule here, Perez can take all 5 of these games if it goes to 5, and the longer, NLCS and World Series. So Palma is here solely if Perez gets hurt, and I need a break glass in case of emergency catcher. The only other big decision was how many relievers to take. Fidel Yoa, I opted not to take on the playoff roster. That was always the plan um, since calling him up in September. And to his credit, even though he struggled for most of the year, he did well in September in 8 innings, only a 3.24 ERA. Struck out 10 guys, had one of his better months, but realistically, he's not going to make the playoff roster. And now let's talk my kind of controversial decision. AJ Russell, one of our long relievers this season who gave us 81 innings, is off the playoff roster. My argument being, of my long relief options, he is the worst one, I would say. Not to say he was bad, he was pretty good. Down the stretch, he did get roughed up for 4 runs, so that blew up his September ERA. But other than that, he was pretty good. However, given the construction of my pitching staff, it doesn't really make sense to keep him. Sandy Ozuna, I am moving to relief. Every time in the playoffs, I move one of my starters to reliever. That's Sandy Ozuna this time around, for fairly simple reasons. He has the worst stamina of the group. And I think having him pitch, 2 innings in a playoff game would be more valuable than getting a start out of him. So Sandy is moving to the bullpen. Michael Jindra is safe. I think it was really between him and AJ Russell there toward the end. I opted to keep Jindra as that other long reliever. Now, let's talk rotation. So it really only makes sense to pitch 4 starters in the playoffs. In the wild card, you can maybe get away with 3, but that means your top guy is going to pitch on 3 days of rest, and I don't really love that. So, for all intents and purposes, you need 4, or in the divisional round, I should say, not the wild card. Luis De Leon, obviously, starting game 1. He's our ace. Enough said. Richie Swain, starting game 2. He didn't have the greatest finish down the stretch. Got injured against the Braves. Struggled a bit against the Dodgers. But I think he's ready. And this is a big chance to see kind of the stuff that he has got for us. Pitching third, Jake Yeager. Jake Yeager, who was our best pitcher down the stretch, I would say. I think he has earned that playoff spot. I debated maybe leaving him off and keeping AJ Russell as like a 10th reliever, but that seems a bit crazy for the playoffs. So the question now becomes my 4th rotation spot, and it's between Hunter Brown and Zebby Matthews. Hunter Brown did not pitch against the Dodgers in that earlier series, but has had a pretty good season overall. And probably on balance, the better pitcher than Zebby Matthews. However, Zebby, a month ago, pitched 7 innings of only 1-run ball against the Dodgers. Did get roughed up a little bit down the stretch against the Athletics and the Padres. But I think similarly to Hunter Brown, could do the job. I am leaning at the moment, and this could change, if anything catastrophic happens. But I think we're going to go Hunter Brown as our game 4 starter, with the caveat keeping Zebby Matthews on the playoff roster still helps me if, let's say, knock on any piece of wood you got, if one of my guys' starters gets hurt, I can have either Hunter Brown or Zebby Matthews come in, give me 3 innings out of relief, and then we're kind of back in business. That is my plan. We'll see how it goes. The bullpen is the bullpen. And lineup, obviously, the only change is Miguel Palma is our new backup catcher over Brady Murrieta. Anthony Murphy is going to be our starting left fielder in the playoffs over Santiago Munoz. It's just a simple case of ride the hot hand versus the ice cold hitter that Munoz is this season. So that's my team. That's where we're standing. The Dodgers are going to open with Shohei, and then they got Yamamoto behind him. So we're going to need to take at least one of these games, I think, to have a fighting chance. So without further ado, let us get in to game one against the LA Dodgers. Here's my lineup. Pretty much carbon copy lineup, what it has been most of the season. I think Max Clark batting seventh is what we're going with the rest of the way. Therefore, Anthony Murphy bats ninth. I get Luis De Leon on the mound. Every pitcher I have is fully fit. Let us begin. Luis De Leon, Sal Frelick. Let's get started. I accept that he allowed a leadoff double to begin the game, but it's fine. It's De La Paz. Lines out to second. We're okay. Bobby Witt, soft grounder to short. The throw is in time. Thank you, Andahar. Jackson Holiday. The $50 million man rifles it to the wall. That's going to score Sal. Ground rule double there is actually clutch. Because that could have been a triple. All right, Mookie Betts strikes out, but the Dodgers do get a run. Nothing for us in the first. Let's see what Alan Ford has for us in the second. Line out to first. That answers that question. Colby Turner grounds out. Here's Max Clark. Full count. And they walked him. All right, Max Clark is one of the few people that I'm going to have run on Rafael Marchand. It's pretty much him and Aguilares. And that might just be the end of the list. Perez struck out, so it didn't matter. But alas, what can you do? All right, we go to the top of the third. And we had an error by Anthony Murphy in left. And 55 error. All right, 2 runners on, only 1 out. And Jackson Holiday strikes again. That's to the wall. Both runs are going to score. Holiday's in at second. We're down 3-0 early. It's not looking good. Mookie Betts flies out. Jackson Holiday stays at second. Villafane, swing and a miss. So about earlier when I said that Hunter Brown or Zebby Matthews might have to come in. Nothing for us in the third. See if Howie Lee can get us going. Hits it to the left. That's going to get down. We have a runner. Condon lines out. Unhelpful. There we go. Very good. Run, you fools. All right. Alan Ford with a double. Howie Lee's on third. Colby Turner. Bang! He hits it deep. Center field. Gone. Colby Turner with a 3-run shot. We're back in the game. 426 feet. Thank you, good sir. And we're not done. Max Clark hits it to the fence. And now the ball lost all of its momentum somehow. I'm not going to question it, but Clark has a triple. We'll take that. Very good, sir. Here's Perez. And he rifles it into left. The lead is ours. Very good. Perez with an RBI double. Anthony Murphy hits it deep right field. Gone. Hey, Shohei, might be time to retire. And the Dodgers go to the bullpen. Anthony Murphy makes up for the error earlier, as we have scored 6 unanswered. And Andahar gets it through. Very good, very good. And How You Lee grounds out to end the fun. But we batted around, scored 6 runs. That'll play. I am going to get Michael Ginger warming up. Ideally, Luis can get me this inning, but we'll see. Sal Frelick gets aboard. Very simple question, De La Paz. Are you better or worse against lefties? You are so much worse. All right. You got this, Luis. And Perez throws out Sal Frelick. Well done, sir. Softly hit to third. The throw in time. All right. So Bobby Witt's going to be the last batter Luis faces. And he walked him. All right. That's it for Luis. We're bringing in Jindra to face Jackson Holiday. Pops it up to left. Murphy is there. Very good. Then I think Jindra gets me the 6th also. We're back in good standing bullpen wise. And now Condon and Allen Ford are on base. Colby Turner strikes out. Max Clark rifles it to center. That's going to get caught. I think that was the animation for, like at the wall, when clearly he was just not even close. There we go. Perez. Thank you, sir. Condon. He has the courage, and he's safe. 7-3. Anthony Murphy hits it down past the third baseman. Allen Ford is not particularly quick, but he's trying home, and he's safe. 8-3. Oh, no, Allen Ford's hurt. Back tightness 2 days, so that's 1 game. Okay. Who do I want to take over DH? Probably Sampson. Yeah, I'll have CJ Sampson take over DH. All right, they walk Aguilares. Bases are now loaded for Andahar, who hits it to center but caught by Villafane. All right, we go now to the 6th. Gindra has a spot of trouble. Let me get Mike Stewart in to face Rafael Marchand. Hits it to center and over the head of Max Clark. What is the point of being one of the best center fielders in baseball if you're going to let that happen to you? As both runs will score. All right. Sal Frelick grounds out to end the inning, but not good. They cut the lead to 3. Nothing for us in the 6th. Clean 7th from Stewart, which is huge. We're going to get Gastelum for the 8th. Well then, Colby Turner with his 2nd home run of the game. This time a solo shot. And we're up 9-5. They go to another. Hey, we're making them use a lot of relievers in this inning. Or in this game, rather. I didn't notice they used old friend Kevin Kelly. Yeah, they're on 3. Ideally, if we can get Yamaguchi out of the game, I think we'll be looking pretty good long term in the series, but he seems to have their number as Anthony Murphy lines out to center. All right. We go to the 8th. Luis Castellum is going to come in to face Mookie Betts, Villafane, and Shohei. Clean 8th. I think since it's no longer a save situation, I'm going to get Kevin Tesicki warming up because that saves Gage Wood and Okuda for game 2. That keeps a setup man ready and my closer. Strikeouts from Aguilares and Andahar. How Yuli walks. Come on, I want to get Yamaguchi out of this game. Condon hits it to the wall. It's down. How Yuli has the speed to go first to home, but he's staying at third. All right. Come on, pull Yamaguchi. Pull Yamaguchi. They don't. And CJ Sampson pops it up. All right. Nothing doing there. We threaten. We do not score. I'm going to go Kevin Tesicki for the 9th. I think if there's trouble, I'm going to warm up Okuda. I know I accept that Andahar just had an error, but I refuse to believe it. All right, Sal Frelick pops up foul. Very good. We've had 2 errors today. Crying out loud. We're just bad defensively. De La Paz pops it up to center. Max Clark is there. Down to their last out, Bobby Witt Jr. 2-2 count. Hits it deep to left, and that ball is gone. 2-run shot. And it is now a 9-7 ball game. Jackson Holiday, he walked him. All right, Okuda's coming to face Mookie Betts. I should have brought Okuda in to face Jackson Holiday. But Mookie Betts lines out to left. We're okay. Little shaky bullpen there, but we take game 1 at home. Very nice. Yeah, I mean, the errors gave the Dodgers 3 runs. That's a blowout if our defense is serviceable. So we get the win. I'm going to save for obvious reasons. Alan Ford has back tightness. What is it affecting? Everything? I think I will rest Alan Ford for game 2 because I don't want to risk him re-aggravating anything. So for DH purposes, how is Munoz in left? Not great. Negative arm. I think I'm going to go CJ Sampson to DH. Bump Colby Turner to 5, Sampson to 6. So I know he went 0 for 2 with a K in game 1, but I don't want to DH Munoz because then I have no outfield substitutions. I'd rather give CJ a game. All right, Richie Swain on the mound. Clean first inning. We get a hit, but nothing much for us either. Let's see if Colby Turner can have another home run. He has a line drive to center. Very good. Here's CJ Sampson DHing. Struck out on a full count. Max Clark hits it deep to left center. God! Folks, the year's coldest batter has come alive in the playoffs. 413 feet for our center fielder. We're up 2-0 in the second. Perez grounds out, and Anthony Murphy strikes out swinging. I mean, Yamamoto's at 51 pitches through 2. That'll play. Clean third from Swain. A solo shot from Aguilares. We're up 3-0. Uh-oh. Houston. Ah. Damn. Bobby Witt hits it to the fence. That's going to score 2 and be a triple. The throw into third, not in time. Dang. Oh. All right. 2-3 ball game. Villafane hits it to short. The throw home to get Bobby Witt is in time. That's clutch. That's clutch from Andahar. Mookie Betts gets it down. If I warm up Zebby, no, I'm going to warm up Sandy Ozuna. Softly hit to the pitcher. Just get 1. All right. Gets the runner at second. I will let Richie face De La Paz. Walked him. See if he can get South really. Damn. Damn. That's going to be potentially a bases clearing double for Sal Frelick there. And it is. He got all the way to third. Yeesh. All right, they got Sal out, but oh boy. I mean, yeah, that's going to be it for Richie. As Max Clark is on second. Very good. Perez gets it down. Clark holds up. See if Murphy can bring him home. Lines out to second. Yeah, not good from Swain. Not good at all. I'll let him get Marchand, then the lineup will flip. Jeez, man. All right. Sandy Ozuna is going to come in his first ever relief appearance against Shohei Ohtani. Hit to second. Short for 1, first for 2. Very good. And he gets Jackson Holiday to ground out. All right. I think if Sandy can get me the 6th also and maybe parts of the 7th, I think we're looking okay. But that's now 2 straight starters that have not been able to go deep into the game. Makes me very worried for game 4, really. If there is a game 4, because we have an off day tomorrow, so I'm not worried for game 3. How Yuli hits it deep to center, caught at the warning track. Ay. All right, come on, Sandy. Lead off double to Bobby Witt. You know, we've all been there. Struck out Villafane. That's huge. Mookie pops it up. I love that Mookie is still playing. Well, that's just fun. The guy's 40 years old, still playing for the Dodgers the whole dang time. That's fun. Walker Jenkins grounds out to second. Really good from Sandy out of relief. That could be a preview of things to come. All right, we need to get some runs here in the 6th. Come on. Condon strikes out. Shane Bieber in relief. All right. Colby Turner hits it up to center. That's not going to go the distance. CJ Sampson hits it deep to center field. But gone. The backup infielder DHing for Alan Ford gets the solo shot. 419 feet. I have been vindicated officially in my decision to have him DH. Perez strikes out to Strand Clark, but we get one run back. I'm going to get Joey Broughton warming up. If Ozuna can get me De La Paz, which he does, that'll be it for him. Joey Broughton can come in. Sandy Ozuna, 2 1/3, 1 hit, 2 Ks. Brilliant work. Here's Joey Broughton to face Sal Frelick. Gets him swinging. Raft hits it up to center. Max Clark is there. All right. Bullpen is doing well. See if Anthony Murphy can get us with a leadoff hit. Nope. Swing and a miss. They go to Sam Henches. Hello, old friend. Forgot how many former Rockies the Dodgers are currently employing on their team. Oh, boy. Hi, Sam. Yeah, he was a pitcher for us for really half of a year. Did great. And then in 2029 just imploded. So I traded him to the Rangers, where he, of course, became the best reliever in the history of baseball. Then it looks like was there for 2.5 years and just signed with the Dodgers and is currently doing great. He must have gotten injured. Yep. Bone chips in his elbow. Missed 3 months. It's rough. All right. Come on, Andahar. Hit a ball off your old teammate. The softest hit grounder any of us will ever see. But he cannot get aboard. All right. So if Joey can get me the 8th, I'm a happy man. Solo shot to Shohei. Not good. All right. I'm going to get Gage Wood warming up and Okuda. If we score 2 or 3 runs, obviously we're going Okuda. If we don't, it's Gage Wood. They're bringing on Paul Skeens for a 2-inning save. That's bold. How Yuli strikes out, Condon grounds out. Skeens is only on 5 pitches. And it gets Colby. That's our 3, 4, 5 hitters going down there. So Okuda sits. We're going to get Gage Wood going for the 9th. Clean from him. We'll get Okuda warming up, obviously, in case this goes to extras. But here's CJ Sampson. Grounds out to short. Max Clark has 1 home run today. Gets down here. I am not going to steal. I'm going to wait and see what happens with Perez. Struck out. All right, I'm sending Max. All right, he's there. Come on, Anthony. Hits it to second. The throw gets him. We drop game 2, 6-4. We could not overcome the worst start of Richie Swain's MLB career so far. Oh, man. That was rough. I mean, shout out to Max Clark. He had a 3-hit day. Walked also. Was not enough, though. All right. Bad time for that outing. But so be it. Let me save. All right, so we're going Jake Yeager, game 3. Hunter Brown, game 4. Because now it is confirmed there will be a game 4 no matter what. Jake Yeager is on the mound for us against Emiliano Teodo, who has a magnificent slider. All right, Alan Ford is back to DH. I am going to make one change. I'm going to have Carter Johnson take short and bat second for Andahar. I think Andahar is ice cold. I'm going to see if Johnson can get me anything in game 3. $13 and $11. It's impressive to get that many decisions. There we go. Aguilaris gets a leadoff double to open. Come on. Shout out to the 24-hour car rental. Here's Carter Johnson getting the start in short today. Hits it deep to center and gone. I am the greatest baseball manager since Sparky Anderson, as Carter Johnson hits a 2-run shot. That'll do. Nothing for us the rest of the first. Nothing for the Dodgers either. Very good. Here's Colby. Strikes out. But you know what? At least you struck out on a full count. Get the pitch count going. That's my thinking there. That's my bargaining. As Clark grounds out and Perez follows suit. All right. Clean second. Nothing for us in the third. Nothing for the Dodgers either. We're in the fourth. Quiet game. Condon gets it down. We have life. Here's Alan Ford, who got the day off in game 2 due to injury. Lines out. It is kind of unfortunate that my backups are seeing so much playing time. Oh boy, not quite what we intended, but hey, it's good that I trust him. Max Clark gets it down. He has had a great postseason thus far. Man's batting .625. Wild pitch advances both, and it brings the count to full on Perez. Hits it softly to third. The throw in time. Dang. That was a good chance to get more runs there. All right. Bobby Witt and Villafane are aboard. Here's Mookie Betts. Hits it to short. Johnson gets it. Throws him out. Very good through 4, Jake Yeager is. Nothing for us in the 5th. Oh, the Dodgers have broken up the no-hitter in the 5th. How dare they? How dare you, Walker Jenkins? All right, I'll leave Jake in, obviously, because he is doing good. The pitch count's a little high. Marchand lines out to deep center. Through 5, he's at 74 pitches, so he's probably got one more inning in him. Condon and Allen Ford are aboard. All right, let's go. Come on, Colby. Hits it to left. Caught. Unlucky there. Frelick gets it. Max Clark flies out to right. Perez K's. Runners on first and second, no outs. We can't even move them. That's rough. All right, so the only pitchers I won't use today are Ozuna and Broughton. Everyone else is fair game. I think I'm going to get Kevin Teskey warming up. But first, Shohei. Grounds out to first. Very good. Here's Jackson Holiday. Hits it to left. Snagged by Murphy. Bobby Witt Jr. is going to be the last batter Yeager faces. And Bobby Witt gets aboard with a line drive single. All right, that'll be it for Jake. Really good game from him. 5 2/3, 2 hits, 3 walks. Only 1 K, which I think is why the pitch count's so high. And Kevin walks Villafane. But he strike out Mookie Betts. Okay, we're okay. We're okay. Anything for us in the 7th? Nope. All right, I'm going to get Gastelum warming up. No trouble at all. Very good from Kevin. Nothing for us in the eighth. All right, we're going Gastelum for the eighth. And I'm going to get Okuda warming up already. And Gastelum allows Shohei and Jackson Holiday to get aboard. Oy vey. All right. Bobby Witt lines out. I'm going to let him face the lefty. Not the wild pitch. Come on, Luis. Strike him out. He walked him. Okuda to face Mookie Betts. Pops it up. That's massive. One more out to get out of the jam. Walker Jenkins is in. 1-2 count. The pitch. Bang! Struck him out. Okuda gets out of the jam. Bases loaded. The Dodgers can't score. Okuda did need 10 pitches, which isn't nothing. Sam Hentges is back. My nemesis at this point, my old friend. Ground out from Max. Perez hits it to right field. That's going to be a double for the speedy catcher. Very good. Very good indeed. I'm going to pinch hit here. We're going to have Sandy get the bat for Anthony Murphy. Come on, Munoz. All right, he walked him. Fair enough. They were saying it was the catcher's fault that was a ball, which is hilarious. Yamaguchi is here, and he gets Aguilares to pop up. Carter Johnson does have the home run, but he strikes out here. All right. We go to the bottom of the ninth. I'm going to make a defensive sub. Andahar is going to take short. Okuda is going to start the inning. I'm going to get Gage Wood warming up in case I need him. But first, here's De La Paz. Hits it to second. How you Lee gets him. Sal Frelick gets it past Bo Turner and Andahar. The tying run is at the plate. Marchand hits it softly to second. Frelick for one. First for two. That's your ball game. We get the win. 2-0. Great work. Combined shutout from Jake Yeager, Kevin Teskey, Luis Gastelum, and Okuda. Good Lord, Gastelum nearly blew that. But we got it done. Very good work. All right, we're up 2-1 on the series. Game 4, decisive game 4. I think Hunter Brown versus Zebby Matthews. I'm going Hunter Brown. I think the lineup is the lineup. Munoz is going to hit over Murphy. Let's rock and roll. They got Darwin Reynolds on the mound. He has made one start for them this year. One single start. It was against the Diamondbacks, and then against the Cardinals in the wild card, he pitched 7 shutout innings. Hello, my friend. Aguilares is aboard on second. How you Lee walked. 2 runners on for Condon. He gets it down in left field. Bases are now loaded for designated hitter Alan Ford. Bang. And he gets it down in center. That will score a run. In comes How You Lee. Safe. There we go. Up 2-0, and we're still going. Colby Turner lines out to center. Crushed me. Killing me, Smalls. Max Clark strikes out. But okay. We get to a 2-0 lead. Hunter Brown's on the mound, and he allows Jackson Holiday a solo shot. Fair enough. Howie Yuli and Condon are aboard. Here's Allen. Lines out to center. Full count to Colby. Hits it to center. No shot. Villafane gets that. That'll score one. Condon is going to home, and he is safe. The camera decided not to pan it. Fair enough. But we are now up 4-1. Max Clark hits it to short. Oh, no. God, Max Clark is quick, ain't he? He almost beat out that throw. All right, Hunter. Come on, buddy. Shohei and Jackson Holiday are aboard. Bobby Witt's up. It's a sharp to short, and Ahar gets him. All right. To the fourth we go. See if Perez and Munoz can get us started. Perez grounds out to third. I thought that ball was through, but it was, alas, a lie. Munoz getting the start today. Hits it down in center. Very good. Aguilaris, full count. He gets the ball down. Darwin Reynolds is at 86 pitches. Andahar pops up. If this goes to the final game 5, I think Johnson's going to take short. How you lead K's. Yeah, that was a golden opportunity to score runs. We just couldn't do it. All right, clean fourth and fifth for Hunter Brown. He's only on 65 pitches. Villafane and Betts are aboard. I'm going to get Mike Stewart warming up because De La Paz is terrible against lefties. So Hunter Brown will face Walker Jenkins. Hits it to right. Caught by Aguilaris. Great start from Hunter Brown. 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run. Take that in a heartbeat. Christian Aguilaris is on second. How you lead? Oh, he beat the throw. Challenge. I would like to use coach's challenge. Whoa, Yamamoto in relief. Hello, sir. He gets Condon to line out. Fair enough. All right, we're going to go to Mike Stewart here. Great start from Hunter Brown. Uh-oh. Sal Frelick and Marchand are both aboard. This isn't great. I'm going to get Joey Broughton warming up. Shohei hits the third. Colby Turner's throw in time to get Shohei. They do score the run. I'm okay with that trade as long as we get Jackson Holiday, which we do. Okay, we're okay. We're okay. Colby Turner is aboard. Top of the 8th, Max Clark walks. I am going to pinch run for Colby here. CJ Sampson's going to take him to get me some extra speed on the base paths. Here's Perez. Pops it up to the infield. Man. All right. Here's Munoz. Lines out to left. All right. Nothing there for us. I figure if Colby Turner would have come back to bat around, it means this game has gone to extras and we have Much bigger problems. Um, yeah, I'm gonna get Joey Broughton for the eighth. He allows the run. Let's see if he can get Walker Jenkins to get out of this. Come on, buddy. Ah, Jenkins gets it down. They're chipping away at my lead. Very simple. Oh, De La Paz. It's still all right. Joey Broughton's going to get him. There we go. De La Paz swinging a miss. Okay. They get one run back. Gage Wood is going to get the ninth. No insurance runs for us. And so our former closer, upset about losing the closer spot to Akuda, is getting the chance. Sal Frelick up first. Strikes him out on a full count. Rafael Marchand strikes out looking the final out in the playoffs for the Dodgers. Who else? Shohei Ohtani. Full count, the pitch. Swing, he doesn't, and it's a strike. We beat the Dodgers in 4. Bring on the NLCS. 3-hit day from Aguilares. Colby Turner with not one but two doubles. Very good, sir. Gage Wood strikes out the side to get the save. Brilliant work. Well done. All right, let's see how the rest of the playoffs are going. We're going to face the Nationals, who are the best team in baseball. Looks like on the other side, it's Tigers and White Sox. We get many a day off here. Hey, Kaime got most outstanding pitcher in Double-A. Good for him. International free agents, like I have time for that. Okay. And now we face the best team in baseball. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. So the Nationals, 99 wins, same with the Detroit Tigers. Oh, boy. All right. So, yeah, I mean, I think in terms of bullpen, I think these guys work. I think keeping Zebby Matthews makes sense. But here's the schedule. So 2 games, off day, 3 games. And then if we need it, off day, 2 more games. All right. First to 4, Luis De Leon on the mound first against Susana, arguably the best pitcher in baseball. Lord have mercy. Here we go. I'm going to have Carter Johnson take short. He's going to get the start in terms of Andahar. But let us rock and roll against the Nationals. Nothing for us in the first, but the Nats got to run. And they also had 2 errors this inning as Condon and Colby are aboard. Fair enough. Max Clark hits it to center. Something tells me this is going to turn into a shootout as we tie the game 1 apiece. Perez then grounds into an inning-ending double play. I hate double plays. Is there anything more momentum destroying than a double play? I think not. All right, Aguilares gets aboard. I mean, if you want to walk Carter Johnson, I'm not going to, stop you there. Nah, he popped up. All right. How you leave with a chance to bring Aguilares home? Nope. Nope. Man, 2 errors in the first inning is grim. Uh-oh. I believe in you, Luis. Yeah, they scored the run. All right, clean fourth, which is good. Max Clark hits it to center, but that's going to get grabbed. Here's Perez. They walked him on 4 pitches. Not going to complain. Anthony Murphy strikes out. And Aguilar's pops up foul. All right. Yeah, I think outside of Max Clark, my bottom 4 guys, like really my lineup has not been hitting great. We just had really good power. And the Nats get a third and another runners aboard. Okay. I am going to be bold. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to have Zebby Matthews come in for relief. My argument being that odds are this game is going to go a lot longer than 4. And so if it gets into that stretch where it's 3 games in 3 days, I'm going to need my long relievers. So let's see if Zebby can get me some innings here. And he allows Ethan Holiday aboard. Not like this. All right, we're okay. Feliz. Lines out to left. Baker lines out to right. All right. Nothing for us in the 7th. Ogawa gets aboard. Very good. CJ Abrams goes down. Landon Schaefer hits it deep to right and gone. Dang it. Yeah. I think the plan was working pretty well, but they just got to Zebby quite a bit. Dang it. Yeah. I think I left Zebby in for maybe one or 2 guys too many. All right, 5-1 game. Carter Johnson and Hao Yu Lee are aboard at the corners. Charlie Condon, swing and a miss. He has 3 strikeouts on the day. All right, Sandy, the 8th is yours no matter what. All right, here we go. Can we score 4 runs in the 9th? Alan Ford gets us started. Gets the ball down there. I'm going to pinch run for him. CJ Sampson is going to take it. Colby Turner strikes out, as does Max Clark, and Perez, you are our final out. All right, he walked him. I'm going to let Anthony Murphy face Gabriel Reyes. Murphy hits it to third, steps on the bag. We lose game 1, 5-1. Yeah, I think my decision to pitch Zebby out of relief there, I think it worked, but I should have pulled him when he allowed that double. Yeah, and Luis unfortunately got popped quite a bit. 6 hits, 4 2/3. All right. We turn to game 2. And now, yeah, Zebby is pretty much done until maybe a game 5, 6, or 7, which isn't the end of the world. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have Munoz take left. How'd Carter Johnson do? 1 hit and a walk. Yeah, I think Carter's gonna get game 2. Everyone else is fine. All right, Roqui Gutierrez on the mound for the Nats. Clean first. Oh boy. All right. He gets CJ Abrams to fly out. Here's Feliz, who gets it down and left. That's going to score one. Oh, the throw is in. It's true, but it's off. Guess the throw wasn't true if it was offline, was it? Here's Ethan Holiday, and he gets it down. I guess something that didn't enter my head when thinking about my rotation plan as they get Feliz there at third or Holiday rather is what if Richie Swain just isn't ready for the playoffs? And I think that's unfortunately what I have run into. As Alan Ford's at second, Perez hits it deep to center, but that's caught. Yeah, I think Swain unfortunately may not be ready. But, you know, he's one of the best young pitchers in baseball. We'll see. Unfortunate there for Gonzalez, dropping that for the error. See if we can take advantage. Aguilaris K's, but Carter Johnson gets it down. Carter's doing really well. How you Lee? That's going to be a pop up. That should score Munoz, though. And it does. All right, we're on the board 3-1. Condon strikes out. So good thing Munoz went. Okay, bottom of the third. Come on, Richie. Ogawa is aboard. James Wood gets it down. That's a fourth run. Man. Man. Wood gets the steal. Evidently, Perez dropped the ball, both literally and figuratively. All right, solo shot from Colby Turner, 2-4. Clean fourth from Richie, and that might be it. Yeah, he's on 89. I'm going to get Ginger warming up. If he can get James Wood, I'm a happy man. He could not. All right, that's it for Richie. I think the miscalculation by me in terms of which four starters go is that Richie Swain just was not ready, and I should have gone Luis De Leon, Jake Yeager, Hunter Brown, and Zebby Matthews. You got this, Gindra. There we go. And Colby Turner ties it up with another home run. Very good, sir. Let's get Kevin Teskey warming up in case there's trouble. No trouble at all. Tie ball game. Whole new ball game. Let's go. Perez gets it through. We have a leadoff runner. Very good, sir. Gutierrez is on 87 pitches. Munoz K's not good. Aguilaris gets it through, though. That might be it for Gutierrez. It is not. They're leaving him in. Johnson soft grounded to first. They get Aguilaris at second. All right, James Minor is in to face How You Lee. How You Lee grounds out into the fielder's choice. Dang it. All right. Good work from Gindra. He gave me 2 innings there. Think we're going to go Kevin Teskey for the 7th. And he allows a 2-run shot to James Wood. Man. All right. Charlie Condon, I believe in you. I mean, you want to talk about a bad performance. Like, he's 0 for 8 in his last 2 games with 5 Ks. Alan Ford strikes out also. as does Colby Turner. We go to the bottom of the eighth. Gastelum is in. Clean inning. All right. We're going to get Akuta warming up. We have 2 runs to get. Here's Max Clark. Hits it up to center, but that'll be caught. Here's Perez. Swing and a miss. Munoz is our last out. Hits it back up the middle. Okay. We have a runner. The tying run is at home plate. Christian Aguilares strikes out swinging. We drop the first 2 games of the series. Nationals Park fans up on their feet. Yeah, Swain got popped. Kevin got popped. And now we are down early and often. Oh, boy. All right. All right. So game 3, I think I'm going to go back to Andahar at short, Anthony Murphy at left. Condon at this point is doing terribly, but I think his bat is good enough to where I'm going to have him hit over, say, CJ Sampson. All right, Jake Yeager on the mound against the Dodgers. 7 2/3 shutout work. Let's see how he does here against the Nats. All right, they scored 3 runs in the first. Oh, boy. Condon and How Lee are aboard. Alan Ford gets it down and right. We have runs ourselves. Ha ha ha. That's what I get for hitting the half inning button. All right, Colby, bring him home. And Colby hits it to center field. Alan Ford walks his happy self home. Tie ball game. Max Clark hits it deep to right, but that's going to be caught. All right. Tie game. Jake Yeager has already thrown 23 pitches. It's fine. Anthony Murphy is aboard. Here's Andahar. Benched the last games. Grounds out here, nothing doing. All right, we now go to the third. Ricardo Gonzalez is aboard, and CJ Abrams hits it deep to right, caught at the wall. I assume Ricardo goes to third, and he does. Let's see if Feliz can get him there. Softly hit to Condon. The relay gets him. Okay. That could have been a lot worse. Good job by the guys to get out of it. All right. 3, 4, 5 hitters. Let's go. How you lead? Walked him. Charlie Condon, 1 hit today. And he strikes out there. Let's go to Alan Ford. Strikes out also. Colby Turner grounds out. Once again, we had a runner on first, no outs. We cannot advance him. Okay. Good news is their pitcher just got hurt. I don't know if that counts as good news, but they go to long reliever Jordan Romano to try to shut us down. Well, they go to James Minor as Perez is aboard for Aguilares. And Aguilares lines out. Okay. We go to the 5th. I am going to get Joey Broughton warming up. No trouble at all. Yeager gets through the 5th clean. And Ahar with a leadoff double. That's huge. Let's go. How Lee gets it through. Come on. We have life. I am not going to run Andahar here. I know he's a fantastic runner, but the ball is shallow. And most importantly, there are 0 outs. I'll let my 4, 5, and 6 hitters handle that. Condon gets it down, Andahar scores. We're okay. We're okay. Alan Ford. It's such a short. Good news is that scores the run. Bad news is it's a double play. They walk Colby. Max Clark hits it deep to center, but caught just at the warning track. All right. I'll take that. That double play really did hurt us, though. I'm going to let Jake face James Wood. Hits it softly. Perez's throw in time. Let's let him get Abrams. Nah, Abrams gets it through. Okay. That'll be it for Jake. Not his best outing, but still got me, 5 1/3. And Joey Broughton immediately hits Feliz. Ethan Holiday flies out. Very good. Here's Schaefer. Swung late. All right. Very, very good. Bottom of the 6th. Murphy and Aguilares are aboard. Here's Andahar. And they walk him. Bases are loaded for How You Lee. And he struck out on 3 pitches. All right, here's Condon. And he strikes out too. Unbelievable. All right. Ideally, if Broughton can give me this inning, I will have essentially an entire healthy back end of my bullpen for the next couple games. However, both Lomavito and Baker are now aboard. So, Gage Wood, good luck. I say good luck. And you walk Ogawa on 4 pitches. Oh, man. Here's Gonzalez. He gets it down. Unbelievable. And it wasn't even like Joey Broughton was waning. He'd thrown 9 pitches before this? And now all of a sudden we have a tied game, 2 runners on, still no outs. James Wood walks. Gage, I don't think you can complain about not being my closer anymore when you do stuff like this. As CJ Abrams hits it all the way to the fence. And this game has been blown wide open, and the Nationals are now 9 outs away from a 3-0 series lead. All right, Wood gets Feliz. I'll let him face Ethan Holiday, and then that's it. Then he gets it through. Unbelievable, man. Gage Wood's final stat line: 1 out, 3 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks. Oh, it's even worse. Good Lord. Ozuna gave up 2 more runs. Oh, brother. We call that the bullpen explosion, I think is the official term. Saying he's getting fatigued. I'm getting fatigued watching this baseball team right now. All right, Schaefer lines out to get out of the inning. Mike Stewart will take the 9th, but this game is very much done and dusted. However, How Yuli and Charlie Condon are aboard. And Alan Ford strikes out. Colby Turner pops it up foul. And Max Clark is our last out. And he flies out to center. Well, I mean, yeah, that bullpen implosion just killed us. Broughton couldn't get it done. Gage Wood came in and was, it must be said, like that's one of the worst bullpen performances I've ever seen. Ozuna came in, he couldn't get out of it. And here we are. We need to win 4 games in a row before they win a single solitary game. We have Hunter Brown on the mound. In terms of hitters, Andahar, I think, just had his best playoff game, so I'll let him face the Nats here. I think Munoz versus Murphy, I'm going to be honest. I don't think I like either of them, but I think I'll take the chance that Munoz could get me that power. So Munoz will take left. Everything else is set. Charlie Condon finally had a good game. So that is my team. We got Hunter Brown on the mound. They have Mike Rutledge, a prospect who was a reliever for them last year, AAA starter this year, started 6 games. All right, here we go. Hunter Brown on the mound. Let's party. Clean first inning. Aguilaris is aboard. How you lead? Walked. I'll take that. Here's Condon. Hits it softly to the catcher. Allegedly, they got How You Lee at second, though the slide, feel like he was safe. That's just me. Alan Ford lines out to center, and that's the inning. Clean second. All right. One of the guys got out running. Oh, okay. So Perez got a single. Munoz hits a double. Perez scores, and Munoz gets thrown out, trying for third. Uh-oh. Baker and Ogawa are aboard. Gonzalez strikes out. We're okay. We are okay. Nothing for us in the third. Abrams and Feliz are aboard. Ethan Holiday hits it to first. Second for one. First, not in time. Ethan Holiday beats it. Landon Schaefer hits it back to the pitcher. Hunter Brown gets the runner. Okay. Looking okay so far. Clean fifth from Hunter. He's on 85 pitches. So, in all honesty, that is going to be it for him. I'm going to get Ginger warming up. Perez and Munoz are aboard. Let's go. Aguilaris walks. Bases loaded. 0 outs. Everyone make a note how many runs we're about to score. Andahar gets it through. 1 run will score. Munoz goes for home, and he is safe. That's 2. I'm going to flip up my plan. Zebby Matthews is going to warm up. How You Lee almost grounded into a double play, but Feliz had an error. Condon walks. That's another run for us. Here's Alan Ford. They go to the bullpen. Hits it to third. They get the runner at home. So nothing there, and we just got much slower on the base paths. Turner struck out. Max Clark gets it down, though. That'll score 1. Condon's going home. The throw, not in time. 2 more runs. We're up 6-0. All right, Perez strikes out to end the inning. Very good. No outs, bases loaded. We get 6 runs. Zebby Matthews is going to come in. Clean 6th inning. Aguilaris and Andahara aboard. Let's go. We will not go quietly. How you Lee gets it through. Man, they could have had a double play there from How You Lee, but Feliz had the error. Yeah. So 2 of the runs were unearned. All right. Wild pitch. If you want to walk Condon. And they do. Alan Ford gets it down and left. Where was this offense the rest of the series? Bases loaded for Colby Turner, who gets it down and right. Come on. No lead is safe with some of the bullpen explosions we've had this year. I need at least 12 runs to feel confident. Right now we're at 10. And they walk Max Clark. The bases are loaded. This also, like, if we can get a lot of their bullpen arms used, as Perez hits it all the way to the fence, this is the greatest 2-inning stretch our offense has ever had. We're up 13-0, folks. They're going Cole Henry now as Munoz hits it all the way to the wall. Looked like it went over, but I'm not going to question it. Perez scores 14-0. I am once again asking where this was the whole rest of the game, or the whole rest of the series, rather. Aguilaris, that's going to get caught, but it should move Munoz. So a simple bloop single should get us another run. And Ahar is hit. Don't be hurt. Don't be hurt. He's fine. How you Lee flies out to end the inning, but we score 8 runs to go up 14-0. Zebby Matthews is going to stand for the 7th. Clean. And the 8th. Okay. Who do I want? I think I'll get Gastelum warming up. In all honesty, if Zebby can get me the 8th, I don't really care if the runner scores. I just want outs. Ogawa strikes out. Very good. And Gonzalez strikes out. Great relief work from Zebby Matthews there. Well done, sir. Oh, and a 2-run shot from Aguilares at 16-0. Now Andahar is aboard. Folks, things are happening. Let's play the kids. Carter Johnson, pinch hit for How You Lee. And he struck out. Fair enough. CJ Simpson, pinch hit for Condon. Hits it up to left and caught. All right. We get 2 more insurance runs for our trouble. Carter Johnson will take second. CJ Sampson takes first. Zebby Matthews, 3 innings, 1 hit, no walks, no earned runs, 5 Ks. Well done, sir. Gastelum for the 9th. Clean. We win 16-0. Goodness gracious me. Braylon Compress, I am so sorry. All right. We win game 4. Here we go. On to game 5. That was magnificent. Like that was something. All right. So Sandy Ozuna and Zebby Matthews, it looks like, are the only ones that won't be able to go. How did Munoz do in that game? 3 hits. Yeah, I think Munoz is going to get left. the rest of the way. All right, Luis De Leon's on the mound. It is suffice to say, he has not had a great playoff thus far. I think if he could get me 5 shutout innings today, we're in business. Clean first. Runners at the corners. Allen, my good man, hits it and caught immediately. That was a laser. That was a laser beam. All right, nothing in the second. Colby Turner is aboard. Perez struck out, though. Here's Munoz. 22 years old, starting in the playoffs for us, by the by. All right, we go to the third. Nothing there from the Nats. Aguilaris is on second. How Yuli rifles it to right. That's down. Aguilera scores. We're on the board, 1-0. RBI double for How Yuli. All right, all right, all right. Condon grounds out. I know it advances How Yuli, but now any out ends the inning. And Alan Ford grounds out to short. All right. Good news. We scored a run. Bad news. We should have had 2. But so be it. CJ Abrams is on second. James Wood. Whoo, he struck out. That's huge. That's huge. Here's Gonzalez. Pops it up. Good work so far from How Yuli. 4 shutout innings. The offense, though, it must be said. Ooh, as Munoz hits an RBI double. Never mind. And then Aguilaris pops it up foul. All right. We get an insurance run. I am going to get Michael Ginger warming up. Ogawa and Baker are aboard. Or no, excuse me, Feliz and Baker. Ogawa, are you better or worse against lefties? You are better, I would say, against lefties. So I am going to pull Luis now, go to Gindra to face Ogawa. Ogawa hits it to center. Max Clark is there. Feliz does not move to third. Lomavita walks. And now the lineup flips to a red-hot C.J. Abrams, who gets it down and right. Aguilaris is there. The throw is stopped, so that's going to score probably all 3. Nationals take the lead. Dang it. Ginger had done so well. All right, he gets Schaefer looking. So we surrender the lead. Nothing for us in the 5th. Ginger is also already on 19 pitches. And he walks James Wood. All right, Gonzalez is the last guy he's facing, and he allows the line drive. Yeah, I think, unfortunately, early on in the season and into the summer, we had issues where our bullpen would just implode at various points. And I think, unfortunately, that's just where we're at. Good luck, Kevin. All right. 3 runs scored. We are now down by 4. We have 4 innings left to salvage this game and our series and playoff hopes writ large. Perez gets it through. We have a runner. See if Munoz can get him home. He hits it deep to the left center pocket. Perez has the speed. The throw is coming in. Perez goes home. 6-3. Aguilaris hits it back up the middle. Munoz is going home. 6-4. Very good. Before I go through Andujar's at bat, yeah, Kevin is on 30 pitches. So I think I'll have Joey Broughton take the 7th. But we're not done. Andahar gets it through. Aguilaris is going to 3rd, the speed demon. Robert Stevenson is in to face Hao Yuli. Come on, buddy. Ah, struck out. All right. We almost had more there. Not Kevin's best outing, but he inherited 2 runners and no outs. All right, clean 7th from Joey. I think we're going to go Mike Stewart for the 8th. Max Clark and Colby are aboard. Come on, Perez. 3-run shot. Bang. He hits it into left. That's down. 1 run will score. Max Clark goes home and he's safe. Tie ball game. Do I just sign Perez to like a 4-year contract right here, right now? Is that what we're doing, folks? Munoz strikes out to end the inning, but now we have a tie ball game. Mike Stewart coming in for the 8th. I learned my lesson from last game when I left Joey Broughton in for a 2nd inning. Clean from Mike. Perfect. All right. Gage Woods warming up and Okuda's warming up. If we score a run, it's Okuda. If we don't, actually, it might just be Okuda either way. Number 1 in saves, eh? Aguilaris gets aboard. We have a runner. Actually, yeah, it's going to be Okuda either way. I'm not going to run on Loma Vida. Andahar walks. 2 on, no outs. Hao Lee hits it deep, right field, gone. 3-run shot for our star player. His first home run of the season, and what a time for it. We're up by 3 against the best closer in baseball. Scenes. Alan Ford hits it deep to center, but that's caught at the warning track. 0 for 5 for him today. Not a great night. Colby Turner gets it through. Oh, the home fans would be going crazy. Down 6-2. You just score 7 unanswered. The fans. All right, Clark strikes out. So we go to the 9th. Okuda for the save. Ogawa, Lomavito, and C.J. Abrams to face. Here's Ogawa. Gets it down and right. Man, Ogawa and Lomavito were the ones that you needed to get out. So we need a double play. Strikeout also works. C.J. Abrams, 1,100 OPS. Walked him. Tying run is at the plate. Landon Schaefer. Swing and a miss. That's huge. Here we go. Nationals down to their last out. James Wood hits it to center. Clark is there. Caught. Ball game. We take games 4 and 5 to force a game 6 after being up 3-0. Are the Nationals getting worried? Are you getting worried, lads? Yeah, I think Luis didn't do great. Gindra got destroyed. Rest of the bullpen did pretty good. Very good from the men. All right, and now we get a much-needed day off because my bullpen was pretty taxed. Okay, so now this is where I think this is the game. Richie Swain has had 2 poor playoff games thus far. This is the moment of redemption, game 6 against the Nationals. Munoz is going to be at left. Everything else is set. Gutierrez on the mound for the Nats. He didn't do great against us last time. He allowed 7 hits, gave up 2 homers. And Aguilaris is already aboard with a leadoff double. Man, imagine being a Rockies fan, Coors Field. that game 5. Don't count us out just yet, folks. This is how Yuli lines out. Condon hits it up to left, but that's going to be caught. Aguilaris had a leadoff double. We couldn't score him. All right, Richie, come on. Redemption. Clean first. And a 2-run shot from Colby Turner. We have the lead. Max Clark is on second. We're moving. Perez strikes out. Munoz lines out to center. Aguilaris walks. Come on, Andahar. Hits it up to left. That's going to get caught. All right. We do open the scoring. Colby Turner, 2-run shot. He has had 5 home runs in the playoffs. His slugging's up to a 770. Clean second. Condon and Allen Ford are aboard. Let's go. Colby. Struck out swinging. Gutierrez is already on 60 pitches in the 3rd inning. Max Clark does ground out, though. We've gotten a lot of base runners, but only 2 runs to show for it. Gonzalez, Loma Vida are aboard. Let's go. Colby to second for 1, and it's an error. Bases are now loaded with only 1 out. James Wood pops it up to the infield. That is massive and could legitimately be the reason why we win this game. And C.J. Abrams gets it through anyway. Never mind. All right. That's going to score 2. Tie ball game. Runners on first and second still. Feliz hits it to Andahar. Don't mess this up. Thank you. All right. They get 2. We have 2. Aguilaris is aboard. Andahar grounds out to first. All right. Man, if we lose this game, the left on base number is going to be grim. Oh, no. Ethan Holiday and Landon Schaefer are aboard. Not like this. See if Richie can get Gonzalez. Gets him to pop up. Very nice. Is Richie a fly ball hitter? No, he's a ground ball hitter. Extreme ground ball. Not too sure about that, given the splits there. Loma Vida lines out to end the inning. Okay, that could have been disastrous, but Richie gets out of it. James Wood is on second. Abrams is up. I'm going to get Sandy warming up. I think if CJ Abrams gets aboard, I pull him. All right, they get a steal on Perez. What else is new? Abrams grounds out to second. Oh my God. How? I hate this game. How is the throw that slow? I know I said I'd pull Richie, but I believe in him. Soft grounder to short, and a hard won't do anything with it. Oh. Ozuna, I believe in you. There we go. No other run score. Okay. We're down by 1. Top of the 6th. Colby Turner strikes out. Nothing for us the rest of the 6th. Baker is aboard. Gonzalez beats the throw. Man, they are just death by 1,000 cutsing us in that infield right now. All right, Loma Vida strikeout. That's huge. Can you get Ogawa? Hit to Colby. The throw in time. Okay. Pretty good work from Sandy there. He inherited a lot of runners. None of them scored. We're going to do Joey Broughton for the 7th. Clean inning from him. I'm going to get both Gastelum and Gage Wood warming up. I think if we don't score runs, it's Gage Wood. If we do, it's Gastelum. How Lee gets it down. We have a runner. Charlie's got one hit today. Swing and a miss. Alan Ford has 2 hits. He gets it down in right. That will advance How Lee, and it's an error. Ho, ho, ho. In real life, I think How Lee scores there, but so be it. All right, we're going to pinch run. CJ Sampson is going to take over for Alan Ford to get me speed on the base paths. Colby Turner strikes out swinging. Oh, man. All right, Max Clark struck out swinging. We had runners on second and third, 1 out. Back-to-back Ks. All right. Gastelum will sit. Gage Wood will come in to face the bottom of the Nats order. And they score a 2-run shot. Loma Vida gets there. Unbelievable. All right. Down by 3 runs. Rockies playoff hopes in jeopardy. First up, the catcher Perez. James Minor on the mound. Perez gets it down in right. The go-ahead run in the on-deck circle. Here's Munoz. Walk him, I dare you. They don't. He swings on the 3-1 pitch and lines out. Here's Aguilares. They walk him. Tying run is up to the plate. I am going to pinch hit here. I am giving Anthony Murphy the bat. Here we go. First pitch. Hits it up to center field. That's going to be caught. Okay. Here we are, everyone. Stand up. How Lee. A home run ties the game. And out sends us home in Game 6 of the NLCS. The 2-2 pitch. Softly hit to short. The throw. Not in time. How Lee gets aboard. Folks, bases loaded. Charlie Condon, our star first baseman, not had a great playoff thus far, but a chance for heroics here. 0-2 count. Struck out looking. And thus ends the Colorado Rockies playoff run. We lose 5-2. Man, we left 23 runners on base. They left 24, but man, yeah, I think unfortunately firstly, let's be honest here. We put ourselves in a 3-0 hole and just couldn't get out of it. And really the common denominator was our pitching. Like outside of game 4, they scored 5 or more runs in every game. So our pitching just wasn't there, which is rough. But man, you're at games 4 and 5. What a fun time. Yeah. Oh, well. The Nationals advance to the World Series. They will face the Detroit Tigers, who swept the White Sox in 4. Funny enough, this would be my ideal World Series because I'm a Tigers fan who lives near D.C., so I'd get to go to a game. I think with the pitching, I think if we're honest with ourselves, in reality, my decision shouldn't have been, is Hunter Brown my fourth starter or is Zebby Matthews? It should have been, should Richie Swain be in there? Because hindsight being 2020, obviously, he picked up the injury against the Braves, didn't pitch for a week, pitches against the Dodgers, gets popped, and then goes 4 innings, gives up 5 runs against the Dodgers, and had similarly poor starts against the Nationals. I think, I never want to lay the loss at one guy's feet, but, you know, we lost all three of the games Richie started, each by, the first two by 2 runs, last one by three. So the error obviously sucks in that finale. But yeah, I think my decision to have Hunter Brown be our fourth starter objectively worked. We won both the games he pitched. He gave me 6 innings, 1 earned run against the Dodgers, 5 innings, no earned runs in the blowout win against the Nationals. So I think Hunter Brown, that was the correct decision. Zebby in relief. I mean, he got popped against the Nats, but pitched 3 shutout innings against them in the blowout win. And then in terms of, all right, let's look at the bullpen. Let's do a little moratorium. I think the only guys who I would say did really well were Gastelum, Ozuna, Stewart, and Okuda. Ozuna, I want to give a special shout out to because he was a starter, and I pitched him a lot more in the playoff than I thought he would. Did great against the Dodgers and the Nats. Then, unfortunately gave up 5 hits, the pair of runs in the loss, and just, pitched well in the loss we just had. But he did really good as a reliever. I think whether I keep him as a starter or move him to a reliever is going to depend on what happens to his stamina in the offseason. But that was very encouraging. Gastelum, was great. We had a terrible scare in the Dodgers win where he allowed 2 walks and gave up a hit. But other than that, he was really good. Never gave up a run. Happy with his performance. Mike Stewart similarly pitched in 4 games in the playoffs. Gave up a run to the Dodgers. Other than that, was clean. Really happy with him, especially since, we did send him down to AAA this year in July. And, he did really well in August. September wasn't great, but did well in the playoffs. And then Okuda, he appeared in 3 games, got 3 saves, allowed 2 hits, a walk, 3 Ks. It's pretty good for the closer, but I mean, my God, like Michael Jindra, I don't know what I'm going to do with Jindra because he sucked as a starter, he sucked as a reliever. Obviously, his stuff is good enough to play, and he's only on a minimum, so I don't really want to get rid of him. But I'm looking at him, I'm just like, you know, he's not going to be a starter next year, so that means long relief. And do I really feel like moving off of AJ Russell so that Jindra has a spot? Especially if Ozuna's a long reliever? I don't know. Yeah, Kevin Tesicki, unfortunately, the error didn't help him against the Dodgers, but he got popped by the Nationals. So that hurt a bit. And then Gage Wood, I'm going to be honest with everyone for a moment. Like, I might trade him because his ratings are really good. He is on a pretty cheap contract. And, like, my God. He pitched a lot more innings this year than last year, but his ERA was a 5.09, and he got demolished He did well against the Dodgers in the playoffs, got demolished by the Nats. And I don't know. Like, I don't know. My fear with trading him is Okuda obviously has the player option after next season, which we assume he takes and walks. So, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm happy overall with the bullpen in the playoffs, but there were a couple terrible performances. I mean, Joey Broughton didn't do great in the first few appearances, locked it down in the last two. Overall, he had a much better year, obviously. 85 innings, ERA sub 3, 1.2 whip. Really happy with him. Starters in the playoffs. I mean, Zebby in relief we talked about, Richie we talked about. Luis just didn't have it. He never got me 5 innings once. He gave up 2, 3 runs a game. Just disappointing from our ace, who was pitching so well up until that in September. So well. He had 5 straight starts go in 5 or 6 innings, one run or less. He was great in September. ERA is 0.62. Rough. Jake Yeager, I mean, I think he had one good start, one bad one. That's how I'd say it. He did great against the Dodgers. Nationals hit him a bit, gave up the home run, and that was kind of that in the loss. So, yeah, I think Hunter Brown did really good. Jake Yeager, one good, one bad. Luis De Leon was all bad, and Richie Swain just wasn't ready. So, overall, I think that's a net loss. Lineup wise, overall, I mean, if we want to use OPS as the number, I would say 5 guys had an acceptable OPS, 2 of which, played in 5 or less games. So overall, it was a little shaky. I think I will give massive credit to Colby Turner, who, if there were any questions this year as to is he going to be our long-term third baseman, answered, I think, pretty emphatically by his play this year and in the playoffs. Struck out less this year, had just one less home run, but hits were way up, walks were up for crying out loud. And I mean, in the playoffs, he had 5 home runs, 14 RBIs. He accounted for 8 walks. Did really well. Aguilares had an OPS of 1,000. He got really hot toward the end of the playoffs during our winning streak, which was good. I think, both Anthony Murphy and Munoz got about the same amount of run. Munoz did, I would say, objectively better. I don't know if that means anything for next year, but that is something. Alan Ford, good news is he hit the ball. Bad news is his power disappeared. I mean, he had no home runs in the playoff, only one extra base hit. I think that sneakily was a problem. Ashley Andahar was bad. I had to give Carter Johnson some games. He was up or down. So, yeah, I don't know. I think overall the hitters did okay, but I think the big glaring issue is we were fighting on power alone, and that really ran out. I think Charlie Condon especially, my God, he had one good game against the Nats. Everything else is bad. But them's the breaks. Them's the breaks. So I think losing in the NLCS is rough, but I mean, we lost to the best team in baseball. We were down 3-0, and we won 2 games in a row, at least to make the final games exciting. We'll see how the Nats do here against the Tigers. It's 1-1. Nationals take game 3. New month ticks over. Nationals take game 4, and they take the World Series 5-1. And that was against a team in the Tigers that didn't lose a playoff game up until that point. They swept the Orioles in 3, swept the Red Sox in 4. So, suffice to say, Nats are a pretty good baseball team. Suffice to say. Expansion, what? Well, this series just got a whole lot more interesting. Huh. Well, okay. So let's see. The Kansas City Royals are currently in Austin, Texas. The Dodgers, or not the Dodgers, the A's have finished their move to Vegas. So now we have an expansion. That's kind of fun. I also have option years that I need to decide. Review of season goals. I don't really care. Contract extension with who? We're losing our longtime pitching coach, Daryl Scott. What would he want? Yeah, 3 years, $1 million is it's a tad rough. Off season begins, arbitration begins, yada yada yada. So what's this about expansion teams? I can choose the teams. By default, the AI went with Nashville and Jacksonville. Nashville, obviously. I don't know if I want Jacksonville to get like really? I don't think Florida needs another team. I like the idea of Portland. And we add a team to the NL West. Let's go Portland. Wingnuts is a terrible nickname. Let's redo that. We're going with hmm. We're going with the Nashville Knights. And let's see. The Royals became the Explorers. Portland Renegades. That's a terrible name. Timber is a good one, but it's taken. Portland Loggers. That's such a terrible name. What are we? We're the Loggers? No, that's terrible. What a nice moment of brevity after a playoff exit. I have to pick the name from Portland. I mean, Trailblazers is a good one. Feels a bit like copyright infringement. Hmm. Hmm. Trying to think of a good one. It's also hard to like not pick one that's like a minor league association. You know what? We're gonna go with the Nashville Knights and the Portland Sailors. I acknowledge completely that Portland, I don't believe, is on the Pacific, but we're going with it. City, Portland, Oregon, please. Thank you. Oh boy. All right. There we go. And so Portland, they're going to be in the NL West. Nashville will be in the AL Central. Minor league affiliates, I'm just going to keep all of this. Oh, because it's going to blow up. Wait, I'm going to lose Albuquerque? I don't want to lose Albuquerque. So be it. Okay. Create new coach teams, yes. Assign create coaches teams, yes. Expansion draft, yes. Expanded teams draft first in the rookie draft. No. 25 protected players. Auto protect players with less than 3 years of service, yes. Limited picks from a single team. That I am putting a limit on. 3 players. This limit results in a 45 maximum picks per expansion team. Oh, right. Because it would count for minors also. Okay, I'll do 4. Actually, oh no. If a team gets rated, they get rated. Number protected players at 25. I'm going to increase that just to 26 for the active rosters. Okay. League expansion. The Nashville Knights and the Portland Sailors. And then all the various minor league affiliations. Does that mean I keep Albuquerque? I do. There are now there's 2 minor league teams in Albuquerque now. That's quite funny. All right, so we have some option year decisions. This will be very easy. We are going to execute the option on Okuda to keep him. We're going to execute the option on Luis De Leon to keep him. And what do I do here? I think it's really a question of, do I think I can get one more good year out of Hunter Brown? He's lost velocity. His stuff has dipped. I think I am going to void his last year and let him walk. However, I'm going to look to bring him back in free agency, potentially. So, last thing I do before I stop this episode is let me just figure out my team. So, in terms of lineup, everything is set with exception of left field. That's either Murphy or Munoz. Catcher is wide open. Miguel Palma obviously is not going to be with the team, but Brady Murrieta, Edgelin Perez, if I bring in a free agent or trade option. So catcher, left field is wide open. Everything else is locked in. Pitching. At the moment, this is my rotation. Luis De Leon 1, Richie Swain 2, Jake Yeager 3, Zebby Matthews 4. Both Jindra and Ozuna are long relief. Same with AJ Russell. Fidelio is going to walk. Hunter Brown's going to walk. That's my rotation. I will have a open spot. But wow, we have an expansion draft. When's it taking place? Expansion draft 11 28. So 2 days, 2 days after free agents file. Oh, that's crazy. That is, wow. That's crazy. I'm totally going to lose some of my relievers in the expansion draft. Oh boy, we're going to lose some players, folks. Oh, this is going to be awesome. I'm so excited. I'm a little scared, but I'm excited. In terms of salary arbitration, we have many decisions to be made. In terms of financially, we have a lot of minor league free agents we need to sort out. Think here, I'll do that now just to get a little clean slate. So Miguel Palma, we're withdrawing. Fidel Yoa, we're withdrawing. 1.6 is fine. Luis, I will offer 3.8 because he is worth it. Sandy Ozuna 3.6. So here's the thing. He's going to be a reliever for me, but I guess that's fine. Dario, we are withdrawing. I think I'm going to wash my hands clean of Dario. You know, he was a backup with Hunter Goodman for a couple years, became the starter for the past like two and a half seasons, and I think unfortunately just isn't the guy for us going forward at catcher. So we're going to let him walk also. Ashley Handahar wants 3.8. That is fair. In terms of minor league free agents, Kareem Ayubi, I think, should just walk. Jax Bishop, I'll try to keep. Sebastian Blanco, I'll try to keep. Browning, who annoyingly, the Astros, I guess, waived. And so now if I want to keep Browning, I have to offer him a big major league contract, which I don't think I want. So unfortunately, Browning is going to become a free agent and probably earn a pretty penny. Esparza, I would. Why can I not offer you a minor league contract? Why? I mean, yeah, I don't think Esparza is really going to have a shot. Devereaux Harrison, I will let walk. We acquired him in the Chase Silseth deal. He played in AAA and AA for a bit. No comment there. Dur Hernandez, I would like to keep around. Wellington Herrera, I'd like to keep around. Carlos Mir, I think we can finally let go. Daryl Moore, I'd like to keep around. Daniel Pierce, who was doing great for the Rangers. They just let him go. I don't quite understand that. But yeah, he can go. Boston Burr, I'd like to keep. Cervantes, I'd like to keep. Willie Cortez can go. Joel Diaz can go. Mason Greenhouse can finally go. Sergio Pena, I want to keep. And Derek Smith, I want to keep. So that's minor league team stuff. Yeah, so I think team-wise, really, left field will be filled in-house by either Munoz or Murphy. The other one will be a backup. Really, the only question is catcher. And is it Perez? I doubt Brady Murrieta is going to be our starter next year. He'll probably be the backup. So that means if we acquire someone, do we move Perez? I don't know. Pitching staff wise, I think we need one starter. We do have some guys in AAA like Fabian Nascimento, who could be ready for the spot. We have Javon Dumas, who started 6 games for us at the beginning of the year and then was never seen again. We have a couple of good guys in AAA. Mike Alexander, Dan Jackson, Conrad Kellen, Jeff Spencer. We have a lot of guys down there, so we'll see how that all plays. And we have an expansion team, folks. The Portland Sailors are in our division in the NL West. That's a lot of fun. I have to submit my protection list. We'll figure that out later. Who gets the first pick? The Sailors. 35 rounds. Good God. I might look into whether I want to put a limit down from a single team. Because if I do 4, right? I don't think it'll be a problem. I say that, then I'm going to lose like 8 guys. Because there's what, 70 picks in total? Yeah, I think that's okay. Because they get 26 guys for their team and then 9 good prospects. I think that's okay. I'll think about it. I'll look into it. But yeah, that is where I will leave off. And as said in a previous episode, um, I am taking a little holiday break. Got a lot of travel going up. And so really won't be able to stream during that time. And so this will be the last episode for about probably 2 weeks into early January. Um, might be able to stream the weekend of the 3rd or 4th, but more likely I'll be back Jan 5th. Taking a little bit of time off here, but I'm excited. I mean, I know we lost in the NLCS. That's disappointing, but we got an expansion draft, folks. Chaos in the streets. We'll see what happens. It'll be a fun time when we come back, and all of that will be settled. So I think off stream, I will get. Is there a deadline to submit the protection list, or just whenever? That's the real question. My exit auto protects. Oh yeah, this is going to be fun. I got to grab 26 guys from this list, but it should be okay. We're auto protecting players with less than 3 service years, so shouldn't be too big of a problem. The expansion teams might get popped a bit, but we'll see. All right. But that is it for this episode. We beat the Dodgers in the divisional series, lost to the eventual World Series champs Nationals in 6. So mixed bag of results there, but I think the future is bright. We got a pretty good baseball team here. I think the question becomes what will happen in this offseason with the expansion draft? Pardon? And how will our team look come next year? So, thank you all for watching. It's been really fun streaming this year, all the different series. We will pick up next year in 2026. Have a lot of fun. Appreciate all of you watching. I will see you then. Go Rockies.